Nu kör vi. Nu är det dags. Jag ser att ni har jättetrevligt. Det är nästan lite tråkigt att bryta in här i era diskussioner och era samtal. Men i alla fall så är det ju Elite Hotel och Think Tank som står bakom det här Tretorsfika. Och då kanske ni undrar lite grann, vad är Think Tank? Och det är egentligen ett ekosystem av företag där man tillsammans, eller där Think Tank vill att man tillsammans ska växa och utvecklas. Ekosystemet det hålls ihop egentligen med de här Tretorsfika och med inspirerande dagar, inspirationsdagar som säger. Och även med det digitala systemet Votion, där vi kan hålla ihop hela Think Tank. Och för att tillsammans då bilda Think Tank med det systemet. Och såklart så vill ju vi att ni ska hänga med, både ni som är på webben och ni som är här, att bli med i Think Tank. Och varför vill vi bli det då? Jo, vi vill ju att ni ska växa tillsammans. Vi vill företag att de ska växa tillsammans. Vi vill att vi tillsammans ska hjälpa andra att växa tillsammans. Och att vi ska utveckla nya tankar och idéer. Och det är vad vi gör i Votion tillsammans med Think Tank och våra partner. Och med det så skulle jag vilja bjuda fram Ashok. Nu ska jag prova på att prata engelska. Ashok Samal is an advisor, IT strategist, engaging public speaker and currently working as a solution architect at Microsoft. Western Europe with deep focus on the AI and innovation. 8 solid years in big data and AI across Asia, Europe and US. Yeah, and we are very, very happy to have you here, Ashok. Very happy. So, and I applaud for Ashok.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming here and we are doing this. I really appreciate your time. So, you know already I'm from Microsoft, involved in big data and AI, and I'm based out of Stockholm, right? And a part of Microsoft Western Europe. So I'll not spend time on introduction, so I'll jump to the discussion today. Right? So before I start, how many of you has involved in AI some of the other way? Okay, a couple of you, good. And how many of you have failed? You need guts to say that, right? Yeah, of course, you guys have. Right, so what it's been 4 or 5 years I'm doing this. And what I understand is everybody talk about AI. You know, you go to a motor company, they're talking about self-driving. You go to medicine industry, they're talking about predicting cancers. You go to any industry, they are talking some of the other form of AI, right? But do you know, almost 70% of the projects never come to life? So what's the risk here? The businessmen invest money, the technical guys spend their time, you learn new technology to do stuff, but at the end, you have nothing. 6 months, 1 year later, you realize you have nothing. Is this a good thing? Yes. So you get experience out of it? Yeah. Right? So experience of failure is a powerful thing, right? So out of this failure, we have learned a lot, right? What we have learned is how not to drive an AI project, right? So people talk a lot about AI things and gonna do blah blah stuff and everything, but today I'm gonna talk to you about how not to drive an AI project, right? So what are the precautions you're gonna take before jumping into the AI engagements, and what should you do and what should not you do, right? So I have top 5 points to talk, right? Why an AI project fails and how can you avoid it. Ready for this? Yeah. Perfect. So the number 1, you know, most of the business leader start an AI project because they think it is cool, right? So I can make something dance on the computer screen or have a game that I can show it to my friends, and AI is cool. I can detect some face and probably it will come up with some business case and it's a cool case. Honestly, cool doesn't pays off. You can show it to a couple of your friends, families, or business partners, but it doesn't pay off, right? So if you were starting your AI project because it is cool, you're never going to earn money out of it. So this is how you fail, but how you kind of overcome it. So when you jump to an AI project, two things is very important to understand. The first one is understanding emotion. Second one is understanding ROI, return on investment, right? So if you have not done these two things before jumping to an AI project, you're going to fail massively. So what do I mean by emotion? So emotion is something that will drive you. For an example, if I launch this automotive car, I can get 20% market share and can drive down this out of my market, and I have a bigger market share. So that's the emotion you are driving, right? And what a ROI you are doing? The ROI is new market share, new customer acquisition, right? So these are the analysis. I will not go deep into it. But if you have not done an emotional analysis with your business, and if you have not done your ROI calculation, you should not jump into it, right? So ROI can implies with respect to money or with respect to market share. You can have only 4 or 5 options. One, either it's a new revenue stream that you're going to generate, or revenue leakage that you're going to stop, or it's a new market share you're going to have, or a new customer acquisition, or customer retention. You can only have 5 things. If you are a leader, this is the first thing you have to analyze how you should jump it, right? So that's the first thing for today, how you should not start AI engagement. The second failure, most of the industry see this failure, second thing, because we think AI people are smart. All of you think I'm smart, right? No? So that's the second failure. So oh, I am smart. So sorry. So that's the second biggest failure, because when you have an organization and you have an AI department, this department kind of grows in silos because they are respected, they can turn the heels, and they are kind of can do the impossible things, right? So they grow in silos, this AI departments. And when you grow in silos, that's not a good thing, right? So what's the problem happens there? Let's understand this. So most of the time, let's take an example. Let's say you are working for a manufacturing or construction company, and you want to understand who are the people out there in the construction field without a helmet, right? Let's say this is your AI challenge, that you want to recognize those people who are without helmet and probably do something. So AI engagement starts like this: object recognition. Can I understand that's a human with helmet and without helmet? That's what an AI team does in silo. But you know, almost all the time, the AI team does their work. They can easily predict whether you are with a helmet or without a helmet. You can do it within 15 days time. You can do that. But the biggest thing is that project never come live, because you don't have an ecosystem to sustain that. So even if you have an AI model, you have to find out, how can I put it in the field? I need a camera. Which camera I should have? How can I deploy my AI on top of it? How can okay, I found it, you are without a helmet. What should I do next? Because my use case is not understanding who is without a helmet. My use case is, I want to stop risk. So you started with a wrong use case, right? So that's why your focus was totally on AI. But that's not your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is how I can stop risk, because if a person dies, it's a big thing, right? So you have never figured out how the AI gonna fit into the bigger ecosystem of your organization. AI is a small part in your bigger ecosystem. Right here in this project, you have to find out that thing before even jumping to the project. So AI is not going to run in silo, because once you are done, you need that pipeline of ecosystem, right? If you cannot find out, once I'm done with AI, how are you going to deploy it? And do I need to integrate it to the cell phone of the manager? Or do I need to integrate it to, God knows, in my CRM? What should I do after I find out that you were without a helmet, right? So the problem is, who is going to find that? And this is a second failure, how you should not start an AI engagement, or how you should not get into the AI engagement. So you have to find out the complete ecosystem to start with, and you should see AI is a part of that ecosystem, not an isolated thing, right? Let's talk about the third one. Is it getting too much? No? Good? Right. Let's talk to the third one. Third problem that industry fails. You know, like again, you can hire a bunch of Python developers or R developers or what it, and write sophisticated AI thing. But you know what? Almost 50% companies fail to put it into the production. So what exactly an AI solution means? AI is a never-ending story. Let's look at this example. Let's say you want to predict the flight cost from Sweden to US or Stockholm to New York in a daily basis. That's your project. And I'm going to give you 1 month of history data to start your project, right? So you did some model, and you can predict something. But after 2 months, you have more data sets, right? And you can use that data to train it, but that data may tell you some other stories, new things that you have not evaluated before, right? So AI journey is a never-ending journey. So you can develop it, put it in production, use it, keep on developing, keep on putting it in production, keep on using it. So it goes like a cycle, right? So the failure it happens is most of the company don't know how to take this Python model that the developer has written and put it into the production and support it. And the support doesn't mean that only your model runs in production. Means auditing, right? If somebody gonna come and say your AI is biased, you have to prove it. It's not. How can I use it? So usability, security, production, you have to run it every day maybe, right? The whole pipeline, the cycle, right? And if you have not done your homework, how to survive this AI model once it get out to the production, what is my everyday will look like once that product is in production, you're gone. Your AI will never survive. And I have some real example for this. 3 years before, we put a really sophisticated model into the production, and the company was displaying that in the website, right? So this model was giving some output of predictions, and on the dashboard, the predictions was happening. Everybody was happy. All of a sudden, this thing died without any reason. And now, because I took the developer code, put it just in the production, it looked nice, the output is there, but all of a sudden it's died. In my production, people are watching my website across the world, can see one part of website is down. Then somebody has to come and put something else to patch that place, right? And it took us almost a week to find out what's wrong, because somebody actually at the back deleted the infrastructure on which my AI was hosted. And we could not even find out that. So if you don't have proper logging, proper alerting, proper those production environment systems in place, you all from the development background, you understand what a production environment looks like, your AI is not going to survive, right? So that's third way how you should fail. If you don't have an end-to-end development, testing and production strategy, you should not jump into an AI project. So you have to find out that whole end-to-end journey of a self-AI model and then jump into doing things. Fourth thing, which is very, very interesting, is that often we see as AI project is driven by business. So the business says, this is the project I have, and this is what I want to find out. I want to find out who are the people going to churn next month. I want to find out where exactly I can find more people, right? So the business always starts this discussion. And the business put this on the head of IT to drive this, right? And the IT people who works will have the access to the data sets, and they will use that data sets to create their AI models, right? Clear? Now the whole problem here is IT people may not have the business understanding, right? So in AI, we call it as feature selections. So features are the right set of data that will help to create your model. And a business person only knows what are the right features influence that decision, right? So most of the time, you start a project without even analyzing what are the features you need in your engagement to be successful, right? So for an example, let's say this. Let's say you are a car company and you want to predict in Gavle Central how many car requests I will get so that I will send my cars there, right? So people are going to order cab, right? So I want to predict how many cab will be there at 3 to 4 o'clock, right? Let's say your developer did everything, but they forgot to put days as a special feature. So let's say people behave very differently on Monday than people behave differently on Friday. And people will behave differently on Sunday, right? So here, days is a very good attribute for me to put it in a feature. But the developer may not be knowing that. Nobody from 18 to 23 buys me. It's 0. I'll exclude them. So nobody even from, okay, 23 to 30, maybe very less people buy me. So I'll put 23 to 30 as one bucket, 30 to 50 as another bucket, 50 to 70 as another bucket. You see, for different companies, the business is different, the attributes are different, the feature engineering is different. And who is going to tell you that? Not a single person knows everything in this group, right? So we have to do it together from a business and from a technology. So you have to work together with your IT department and business department and make it closer, right? I'll not take much time, and I will tell you the fifth thing and the last thing, and it's interesting. AI is going totally black box, right? So just few days before, I wrote a model, and what I did is I used a convolutional neural network to find out, which had many hidden layers underneath. For me, I don't care. Even if I'm an AI engineer, what I did, I set my inputs, I set my attributes properly, I let my AI train on that data sets, and AI figured out what the hell is going on underneath and put the final layer for me. I'm the person only deciding which architecture of AI gonna fit to this. And at the end, I have my output. If I'm not happy, I'm gonna change this parameter a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of change. So everything you see inside is going to be a black box, right? It is a black box, right? Most of the thing you as an engineer even don't know what the heck going inside. So think, if something goes wrong, you got a very strange data sets, or your model start behaving strange, your production failed, how are you gonna fix it? You don't know which part of the problem you are into right now, right? Because you never understood, or you can't understand that thing because it's out of our computational behavior, right? So if you don't understand the inner side of the story of this AI model and create that black box, it's gonna come back one day for you, right? You're gonna pay for that one day. So the good thing is you have to understand how the whole flow works, instead of creating too much black box, you have to make your model transparent. You have to understand what's going in each layer and going out in each layer. Of course, you cannot do it to the extent you should do because we are human. We don't have that much power to do like computers, right? So you have to go into some depth of AI engagements to understand the model that you're writing, at least what is input, what is output, why this is not selected as a feature, why that is selected as a feature. You have to understand that. We have seen in many cases, people have successfully put things into production. It works fine for a month, and then it starts giving really, really poor result. The data set doesn't change. Maybe a little bit biased data sets comes up, but the way you have do the model selections and stuff is so different based upon the new data sets arrived. Your models start behaving so strange. Now you have to figure out what you have done inside the black box in a level that you can fix it when it dies or doesn't work. So these are the top 5 failures that the industry see, and this is how you can put some thoughts around your daily work to avoid those kind of failures, because right now people are doing AI for real. The days of discussion is gone. Proof of concept are in a very advanced stage, and you will land into cases where you will do real AI development work, because this is the time. And if you have not considered all these things, then there is a very less chance that you will be successful. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And now we're going to open up for some questions. So we have some questions. Anders, you
Yeah, does this work?
Yes.
All right. Not working in here, but on the internet it works, I guess. So that's good. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Very interesting, and I hope you enjoyed that lecture.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we would like to thank you very much for being
My
here,
pleasure.
Ashok. And we have a special handsmith key, because Think Tank is a key to success. So we have a blacksmith in southern Hälsingland with handmade, and they're numbered, and it's special for special people. And you
Thank
are
you.
special.
I'm honored.
So
Thank you.
please,
Thank you.
thank you very much for the
My
and,
pleasure.
and some flower here from a flower girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. My
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you very much. Och med det så är det fritt fram och